this is G.I. Josh with a new collection that's going to be a little different from most of the others on this channel. Most of the others are going to be distinctly action figures and miniatures, but here we're going to be looking at Airsoft. No, this is not a real arsenal of weapons that could harm anybody or kill anybody. These are basically just toys, which is why they're going to fit just fine on this channel. Airsoft, if you haven't heard about it or gotten into it in any sense, is kind of like a BB gun, but it shoots with a lot less power and shoots a plastic pellet. So what I'm going to be talking about isn't Airsoft itself, but whether or not the guns themselves are worthy of your money and collecting. Now, I only have a collection because I actually use them at a local Airsoft site where you basically, it's where they play paintball. You can just go play Airsoft in some places, and you shoot BBs at each other and hope that the other guy calls his hits. And just like childhood when you played guns, people never really want to go out, and it can be quite fun, though. So let's take a look at the actual guns. None of these are real. I know they don't have the orange tips on them that usually signify that they're Airsoft, but where I play, people paint them so that they don't stand out in the forest, and I've done the same. So what we have here is an assortment of different guns. Yes, the one on the end is an M41A pulse rifle from Aliens, and yes, that makes it pretty cool. But why would you want to collect these? Well, for one, some people just don't want to own real firearms that look like this, and I'm actually one of those people. As much as I enjoy firearms and I enjoyed learning about them and doing the shooting drills and whatnot and training with them in the military, I actually have no urge to own anything like this. I like the occasional hunting weapon, but this is not really something I would want to own in the real case. Except for the pulse rifle, I would love to have a fucking working pulse rifle. That'd be cool. Shouldn't have cursed there, but here we are. Alrighty, so why I'm doing this video really early on is I want it to be one that shows the kind of distinct stuff we're going to be looking at, how obscure it can be, and this would be on the furthest end. We're looking at Airsoft guns because, frankly, they're toys. These are toy guns that happen to look very realistic and cool, or in the case of the pulse rifle, like an actual movie prop. So, let's say you plan on playing Airsoft and going with friends to go shoot little Airsoft BBs at each other. In that case, it's a very different reason to have the collection. In fact, most of the guns I have aren't very good at that game, but the one in the middle that looks like an M4 or an AR-15 or an M16, whatever you want to call it, that would be this guy right here. It's a very high-end, all-metal, $300, $400 gun, and it's designed to be used for Airsoft games. It's not really, you know, something that people would probably just collect. But this is a Spaz 12 shotgun, which is the same model that was used in Jurassic Park, and its parts were made to make the prop for the Aliens movie with the M41A pulse rifle. Then over here, I had an interest in the Israeli-made Tavor, and I thought it might be much better than the military weapons that I was issued, and it kind of turns out that it's a piece of junk too. It turns out all mass-produced weapons have their problems. So, why would you collect these? Because you want to feel the realism of these weapons without actually owning a real machine gun or assault rifle or combat shotgun. So basically, these give you the ability to experience that without the negative parts. Now, I'm going to try not to knock these all over. I'm going to grab this one, and I'm going to put it in my lap so you can see, I put my initials on it, how realistic it really is. A pretty satisfying sound, and that wasn't even the real thing. It gets a little more snappy if I... There we go. So it has all the parts. That's a real working laser sight that you can get for it. Mine used to have a red dot, but it actually got shot off. And this thing has some real weight to it. Like, this is a very heavy weapon. It's probably 10 pounds. And so that's that. You can have hyper-realistic firearms, never mind my body and feet, that are going to be in the shot. Then you have weapons like the M41A pulse rifle that is a prop from a movie. This guy is also rather heavy, can do this. And they all shoot fully auto, so they're like brrrr when they fire, which is kind of cool. Gives you the experience of shooting a machine gun if you've never gotten to do the real thing. Here is the shotgun. pretty cool. I'll try to... That's the pump sound, and then you pull the trigger, and that's how this one fires. It is not automatic. It's called spring. You gotta pump it and then fire. And then finally, there's this one, which you can pull this back, and that is the Tavor. And it's very light. I can hold it very easily with one hand. So now that there's a pile of guns, why would you want to get into these? Because frankly, Airsoft is really fun if you go play the game, and they look pretty cool sitting there like I have this nasty arsenal, even though they're really just a bunch of cool looking toy guns. This is the ultimate expression of your love for toy guns. So if you want to go play G.I. Joe, and as I do, I go play G.I. Joshua out there, this is a pretty nice way to do it. So is it worth collecting? Totally. If you have friends that are really into it, you should totally get into it. It's probably my least favorite hobby I have, but it is really fun when you get out there. And the buy-in is pretty damn expensive. It can be between $400 and $1,000. So that's all I have to say about Airsoft. Let's go ahead and end the video. Thank you for listening. This was G.I. Joshua.